shows you where you need to work on things.
And it's just the sheer magnitude of the event. Between the 4 main primary divisions, you have 300, 400 cars pretty much in all of them.
Everybody's here, and it's just, you gotta go. Give it your all, and go make friends.
Tulsa.
Green flag, the shootout begins.
He's won 2, now 3. Straight blood wins the shootout. Blake Hahn, an 8th golden driller in the modern era.
Dustin Torgerson, your winner of the weekday class golden driller. And back-to-back, Emerson
Just think you could be the
winning outlaw winner of the Tulsa Shootout.
It's the best weekend ever because it's the golden driller.
You are looking live at the sunrise creeping into the Expo Raceway here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good morning from day number 3. You are watching our live coverage of the 40th annual Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Glad to have you in with us. My name is Caleb Hart. Earl Hoon and Clinton Boyles joining me in the booth this morning for an early Tulsa morning, guys. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. The alarms blew off early for both us and for the drivers on the track, as last night got a little bit late. So Outlaw D and C Main start our morning off today here on day 3 of Tulsa.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You know, last night we go home, the sun's down, and we come into boarding the sun, or come here in the building in the morning here, and the sun isn't even up yet.
No.
Right? And we're already talking about micros and muffins here early on in Tulsa. But this guy here to my right, dude, this is probably the most successful Tulsa shootout you ever had in your career so far.
Yeah, it's one of the only Tulsa shootouts I've ever had. But, I mean, it's a dream week, I think, for anybody so far, winning, all 3 of your heat races from, not all of them off the front row. So, yeah, I just, I see that and grateful for what we've done, but I know there's a ton of work left to do, and we're just barely getting, under the surface of what we got to do to be able to compete for a driller.
Like you said to us, your job's about 15% done at this point in time. One of 2 drivers who has won 3 heat races here at this point in time over the Tulsa Shootout. We have got so many stories that we are following in and throughout today, and another long day of racing. Over 100 events scheduled. Once again, 114, I believe, on the docket for today's schedule. Well, we have a fantastic crew of broadcasters here with us, and let's start off by introducing them. As down in the infield for his first infield shift, Blake Anderson. Good morning from Tulsa, Oklahoma, sir.
Good morning, and Caleb Hart, the best part about this, let John Hager know it is 8:03 and I'm awake and on camera, so you can let John know that. It's a great day for racing. The crowd filling in. We've already doubled our crowd, so that's a good thing. And man, a full day, over 100 races on tap. You can hear hot laps getting ready to roll. Chris Squared, you guys are at the top of the ramp. How are things going up there?
Chris? That's what I was looking for.
It's the
I
Chris
figured
and Chris show.
Squared was coming.
Yeah, good morning to you, Blake, and good morning, everybody here from the top of the ramp. It's a little bit difficult to get some of these guys to wake up, but now that they've strapped in, I think everybody's ready to go racing. So 114 races on schedule for today, as you guys were talking about. But talked to Curtis Jones. He was like, I'd much rather probably race last night, but, it's also the Tulsa Shootout. What's better than racing at 8 a.m.? He just had a cup of coffee, said, I'm ready to go, but it's interesting. We're going to finally start to eliminate some drivers here today.
It wasn't just these guys. It was a tough time getting me out of bed, too. I'm not an early morning guy. But, hey, listen, as we said, it's the Tulsa Shootout. Top of the ramp. Things have been very calm so far this week. I expect that to change here, especially as we get further in. We start getting into these elimination racers. The intensity of the qualifiers, it's going to pick up. It's going to get hot and heavy. We got sweet meat pie this morning. Girl, who's in the booth? Let's go.
Market boys, 8:04 in the morning, and there's the first zinger. Oh, Chris Moore.
Here's the thing: you're in the booth today, so fire back. You have got guns blazing.
I have not forgotten what was said on yesterday's broadcast.
Noted. Ironically, Brian Ward, the best morning person of all of us, off this morning. So enjoy your sleep in, Brian. We'll see him a little bit later on in the afternoon. As we thank all of you, no matter where that you are tuning in from, across the country, maybe across the world, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here at the moment. Wake up and have a cup of coffee and have some Outlaw D-Mains. These are eliminators here out on the racetrack. We'll only take a few cars up and out of this. 32 degrees outside in the morning, and there is a cold front rolling into Tulsa here at the time being. So going to be chilly in the expo, chilly outside of it, but the racing action on track is going to be hot.
Another person I want to welcome into the building can't hear me right now. Wakapedia's back.
Hello, Wakapedia.
A long trip back home from Australia, getting detained, getting it back into the States due to someone in West Virginia with the same name and some complications. Make sure he's all clear.
Whoopsies.
Back in the building bright and early as we get to look at our track facts.
That's right. We are inside the SageNet Center. This is the Expo Raceway, the racetrack that only exists 30 days a year, as we are on a 1/5 mile clay oval within it using the old Tulsa Fairgrounds dirt. And it has been a fantastic surface all week long so far. Our racing action from the drop of the green flag on New Year's Eve all the way through now has been absolutely killer, Earl.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that has been one of the big stories here this week, and at least at the top of the scales of how consistent this track surface has been up to this point, right? And how racy it has been, right?
Multiple grooves every time they have hit the racetrack. It has been awesome.
Normally, you know, this is only my third shootout, right? And how long the program was yesterday, we would have a couple sessions in previous shootouts to where, you know, we would have big, long hour breaks to refarm the whole track, right? Now they have condensed them. You know, if you paid attention to social media on the shootouts, Facebook and Twitter pages, or excuse me, the X, they were very happy on the consistency of the clay when they brought it in from outside, because they said normally they have to deal with the elements when they're hauling the clay inside the expo center, right? Because they have to deal with the rain, snow, sleet, whatever, but they haven't had a lot of that here in Tulsa, Oklahoma during the winter time, right? And they said it's been relatively dry and you can do more that you want to do with a surface like that. You know, you don't have to be like, oh man, it's already moist. Mark that one down for the day. And we can't do a whole lot, you know, but now they were very happy with how the clay was, and they could do a lot more with it than what they need to do here throughout the week.
It is going to be fun. Outlaw D's on the track, or Outlaw D-Main #1 out and on the racetrack at this time. Drivers who had a terrible, terrible heat race and did not score very well are packed in down to this one. And right now, Earl, we've got a 3-car shootout for 2 spots.
Let's go.
Right? So the lineups are currently busted. So we will dive into the My Race Pass app and find out exactly who is on track for you. As live timing and scoring waking up as well. Green flag is out, and well,
looks like we're gonna go 5 laps on this one.
Hey, 3 cars, 5 lap a car would be fine by me. I'm all right with that. That's the quick way of getting this in and through.
Yeah, that's okay. We're here early in the morning. We want a quick morning half here.
It's Matthew Baldwin in the 69X. The 66 is Brody Graham, and the 04A is Alan Hazel. As big move by Brody Graham. Brody Graham, all the passing so far. He has literally passed a third of the field.
The track's very, very fast here in this one. Obviously, first race of the day, but yeah. Graham absolutely ripping around here in the 66.
All right, Caleb, take me through your racing experience. You're the driver in the seat. What are you trying to feel right now? What adjustments are you making? Take me through it.
I'm just trying to keep my eyes open, right? I mean, it's 6 in the morning my time. There's no way that I'm even in the car.
So now the checkered flag is out, and that's going to wrap up D-Main #1 of the day.
I mentioned it a couple days ago, but these early morning races, the mud that you actually have to deal with in pulling tear-offs. I talked to Christian Bruno, who's an early race yesterday, and said the mud was so thick on his helmet he could barely open his visor after the race. And Emerson Axum said, yeah, man, one time I went through 20 tear-offs in one heat race here in the morning.
Wow.
So
it's a lot of tear-offs for this place.
It is a lot of tear-offs. I said, man, when we get to Chili Bowl, we really don't see tracks that wet, I don't believe that you worry about pulling tear-offs even in those, practice sessions with 20 cars out there. You just, you don't get it as bad. But here at the shootout, the track is juiced and ready to rip.
So one of the things that you just saw when the live timing and scoring did come up, the little yellow box that's around the driver's number indicates the transfer position cars. So easy visual indicator for you guys to check along with as our next race is on the track. 74 of Robbie Brockman, 3K of Jackson Bishop, 44 of Gunnar Schroyer, 88 of J.R. McCutcheon, 14 of Dustin Cormier, the 25 of Jennifer Owens, 35 of Gage Weldon, 58 of Kyle Halter, and the 29 of Sophia Papp are the cars scheduled to be in this one. Obviously got some scratches. So last race went about 5 laps. This one, we'll see. A little more cars, so give them a chance to sort out and race a little bit as the green flag is out.
This is race 146 of the week so far, as Robbie Brockman in the 74 will lead him back down in the turns number 3 and 4. Remember, top 2 finishers out of these D-mains move on. Track's still very, very fast here in this one.
I don't know that we've ever seen winged outlaw on an early morning track like this, to my knowledge. And I think as much as we talk about the non-wing guys struggling to get too wide and make runs, I think the wing cars could be even more difficult, making the starts that much more important. We talk about dirty air out of Port Royal with you, Earl Hoon, and not that we have a lot of dirty air inside the building, but I'm sure it creates some sort of disruption to where, the ability to drive up on a guy is just a little bit more difficult. Your car's going to get a little bit more rolled up in this moisture, and it just makes things a little harder. But we are absolutely ripping through these 10 laps.
Yeah, we're already past the halfway mark in this one. 4 laps to go. Robbie Brockman still your leader. Jackson Bishop in the 3K second, tracking down Brockman as they approach lap traffic.
Lap traffic in the D main.
Yeah, how about that, right?
Earl, take me through your track prep knowledge. I know you've never seen water on a racetrack like this out where you're at, but
I saw what you did there on that one. But yeah, no, I mean, I always love a good cushion, but I also love when the sprint cars come up to the Port Royal Speedway and they bang the boards too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the track is slow up there, but it's purposely on slow because we got to slow you guys down, right? We don't want you guys hammered down and it being a 30-lap hot lap session, right? So we got to figure out a way to slow you guys down as the checker flag falls here on D main number 2, where Robbie Brockman and Jackson Bishop are going to stay alive and move on into the C main.
All right, up top, our first K1 Race Gear interview of the day. Chris, either Chris 1 or Chris 2, has got Brody Graham up top.
Yeah, and Brody Graham is getting credited with the first win here on Thursday. I know it's a little early for you. What was it like getting up at the crack of dawn this morning and having to focus in and go out and be the first race?
Yeah, I probably got up like 20 minutes ago and then just ran over here because we got a house right here and just got dressed and hopped in, and there was only 3 cars, so I was trying to be smart and just not get wrecked for no reason. I already put us in a bad spot, so I just got to dig us out of it and run through the soup.
Yeah, I figured you're awake now, so any changes before we go back in the C main?
It was pretty tight. I probably won't change it just because the track was super slimy. I think it'll come in, but we'll be fine.
All right, Brody Graham, winner of that first D feature.
6 cars have made the call here for D feature number 3. Braden Taylor is the 17, and the 10 is Jared Faria out in front of the field. Haley Papp is supposed to be the 5, Hunter Yaney the 11. Let's see who else showed up. Curtis Jones the 22, and Paige Perrin in the 55, your 6 cars.
Do you guys know if Jared Faria has any relation to Danny Faria on the West Coast?
It would make sense given his hometown and where he is.
There you go. Well, nice. Early
Danny
morning for them.
Faria.
So you got a great 3-car battle for third as the Curtis Jones 22 machine is going to make his way up into 4th. But how about it? The top 2 guys starting to break away from this field. That's going to be Braden Taylor and Jared Faria.
I don't know about I don't know about you, Clinton, but I'm getting very Saturday morning of Chili Bowl vibes at the moment, right?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been in here, and I'm proud to say that I've never been in here or on track early on a Saturday morning. So I don't know what that's like, but a little humble brag.
So as the laps start to click off here, D main number 3 in the Wind Outlaw division. We're going to come around and have 3 laps to go. This time by no changes at the front of the field, as you still have Braden Taylor in the 17B, the leader. Right behind him, running in second right now, the 10F of Jared Faria.
A lot of smoke out the side of the 17B of Taylor. Almost even looks like something coating on the body, but still ripping off the laps. He's only got to hang on for one more.
So they'll make their way down into turns number 3 and 4 for the final time. We'll see the checkered flag, and Braden Taylor is going to win D main number 3. Right behind him in second will be Jared Faria. Those 2 drivers are going to move on into a C main. The rest of the top 5 looks like this. In third, you have the 11Y of Hunter Yaney. Fourth, the 22 of Curtis Jones and Haley Pappen, the 5H, finishing 5th.
Up top we go. Chris Moore has got Robbie Brockman.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Robbie, you go out super early. Yeah, good morning. You go out super early. Is there anything you can take away from what you just did out there going into a C main here in a little bit?
I mean, the track's just super hooked up, obviously, so hopefully it widens out and we'll try our luck from the back.
See if you can pass some cars, make it a good morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go, guys. Robbie Brockman, winner of D feature number 2.
D4 up next. Patrick Lundy, Bruce Newland, the 10 and the 94. Josh Bossino, the 77. Bobby Wofford, the Barber, the 14. Dylan Mendito, the 29. Levi Hink, the 21. Alex Midkiff, the 11. And Kyron Casillas in the 9 car. And got 7 of the 8 out there, so. The one I don't see is the 9 of Casillas.
Will be another 10 laps around. As once again, we will go green at the chalk line in turn number 4. Race 148 of the week is underway.
It's the 11 of Midkiff that I didn't see out there. Math is hard, numbers are tough. Bruce Newland has got the early lead coming off the corner.
Levi Hink with the early move from 4th up into 3rd. Charging up on Patrick Lundy for 2nd. Got to make the top 2 if he wants to transfer. And you see it right there, Earl. It's dirty air. He got tight right behind him. I'm telling you, it's in the Expo. The vortex doesn't get going inside here.
So cars still working the bottom side of the racetrack. Track still very, very fast as we are in the low 11 second bracket. Track still getting faster, but boys, that battle is starting to heat up once again for that final transfer spot between Patrick Lundy and Levi Hink. And how about it? Hink will take the 2nd spot right at the line.
Outside in 3 and 4 for Levi Hink, and he starts to pull away and going to feel very secure in that 2nd position, but a long ways to go to your race leader, Bruce Newland Jr.
4 laps to go. Newland can already see slower traffic in front of him, and as a driver, does that make you nervous a little bit with how fast and narrow this track is in the morning?
Oh, that makes you nervous right in front of you at the line. One upside down in turn 1.
That's going to be Joshua Bosson now in the 77 upside down in a big way.
Yeah. Caught the front stretch wall with the right side tires, and up and over he went right in front of your leader.
Caleb Hart, Alex Midkiff did make the call, so you weren't lying to yourself. He pulled right in, though. Car wasn't running quite right.
Ooh, man.
Thank you, Blake.
Oh, still running at the end.
And now Blake's got to mosey over and check out his first wreck from the infield of the day. Old school.
Yeah, Joshua Bossino hasn't climbed out yet, guys. He's still working on it.
Old school non-down tube car.
Yeah. man, if I went like that at 8:19 in the morning, I'd need a second to collect myself also.
Well, while he collects himself, up top we go to Chris Wilner.
Oh, Braden Taylor won that last D feature, and boy, you dodged a bullet. Blew an oil line, guys, as they were coming around to the white flag, and you hung on. Obviously, you can get this fixed, but was it nerve-wracking when you started smelling smoke and oil?
Yeah, I thought I smelled a little bit of something coming to that white. I was just really hoping it didn't go before we got that checkered.
All right, what more do we have left tonight? You got the C in this one, and also A-class, right?
No, sir, just outlaw. We're just going to see what we can do. But I can't thank my dad, my grandpa, and my cousin for getting me out here and working as hard as they do, BB&T Racing Products, and Marion Towing for helping me get out here.
All right, guys, it's Braden Taylor. Dodged a bullet. There's oil all over the place here at the top of the ramp.
Clinton.
Yes, sir.
From the King of California Knowledge, Dean Mills. Jared Faria is Mike Faria's son.
Okay.
Remember Mike, 2005, 2006-ish, saw him up at Dirt Cup running 410 sprint cars. So.
Yeah. I figured Dean would be the guy on that. He just got to hear me say it.
He knows
He'll text
the
down
stuff.
to us.
That's right.
Dean knows everything about everyone. He's seemingly at every race and then some that I'm at. And
so here we
can
go.
Tell you stories for years on end.
Oh, no, he's off the pace. He's done in this one.
If you remember, Hink in his heat race was running a strong second behind me and had a flat left front tire that came off the bead, and they made him pull in there also.
So the driver that's going to benefit from that's going to be Patrick Lundy in the 10L. He will now move up into that second and final transfer spot as we just have 2 more laps to go here in D main number 4. But it's all Bruce Newland Jr., the 94N, as he has a straightaway lead in this one.
Just a nice, is it Thursday today? I don't know.
Yeah,
nice Thursday cruise.
We're still on Tulsa time, so I mean, you lose track of days. And Thursday, and that's going to wrap up D main number 4. Bruce Newland Jr. in the 94N, he'll win it. And Patrick Lundy in the 10L, he will transfer on as well in second.
Caleb, you might know a little better than me. We're not in the 10-second bracket very often.
We are not.
I mean, I know the midgets, if you can get in the 10-second bracket in your hot laps, you're fast.
You know, and just look at circumstance. Fresh racetrack, all 8 hours plus of watering, and your winged outlaw division. These would be the group that would do it. So not a lot of 10-second laps around here in a micro, but just pulled it off in that one.
Throttle cable snapped on Levi Hink's car, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Blake.
Terrible luck. All right, next heat race on track, we have got Joe Bennett in the 541. It's the 19 of Ryan Cradle. Aiden Turner's the 26, Sawyer Davis the 966 of Jaden Clay. Outside of Clay, that's the 26T of Aiden Turner. Nope, Turner's on the inside of row 2. See if I can pick up that 6th place car.
Oh, trouble there in turn 3, car upside down.
It's the 97T of John Taylor that I was trying to identify there. And Taylor hangs her in the fence.
Hopefully this is not going to be our first fence repair of the day.
I think the fence looks all right, Earl. He just barely made it.
Ibach Springs replay of how it happened for John Taylor in the 97T. Little bumper job, and then just ends up resting over there in turn number 3.
Got in a little hot. Probably looks worse than it actually is.
Let's go up top. K1 Race Gear interview. Chris Moore, who you got up there?
Yeah, I got Bruce Newland Jr. here. Bruce looked pretty easy out there. Obviously, racetrack still starting to widen out. It looked like you weren't quite down with those left fronts on the berm. Do you feel like by the time you get out again, you're going to have a racetrack to get around on?
I think the top will be in once we go back out. My first one to start by thanking Mark Clary. It's his car for putting me in there. Skyler, my crew. Donnie, my brother Jordan, my wife Kim, my mom and back home, and my mother-in-law. I wish my girls were here. I want to thank God. I guess we'll see if we can go through the sea and see where we at after that.
Good luck. Keep it going.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Bruce Newland Jr. It takes an army to get out here at the shootout.
Thanked his mother-in-law. You've got one of those now, Earl.
I do. You
ever thanked her for anything?
For the Christmas cookies. She personally baked me.
It's wonderful.
Gifts. She loves me. What can I say? She loves me more than her daughter. What can I say?
Well, speaking of people that love you, Blake Anderson on the scene at the 97T.
Front end knocked out. He's not even going to get out of the car, guys. They just pulled up, raised the hook, and off he goes.
Blake Anderson, keep a lookout because my long-lost uncle John Daly, I hear, is going to be making his way here into the Expo Center.
Perfect, yes. Your father.
Yeah, why not?
Your father, Uncle Jerry, you got them all.
Got them all, buddy.
Speaking of Jerry's, I wonder if Chickasaw Jerry's tuned in watching. If he was.
I would not be surprised, Clinton.
I know it. If he was here, we'd make sure to give him a wave.
Absolutely. He'd be dancing somewhere.
Then there were 6.
Here we go. Restart pumping.
Joe Bennett, there's a 1 on that, so it is the 541. Takes off to your early lead. And second and final transfer belongs early to Sawyer Davis. Gets the left side up on the berm, brings her back down the back straightaway, about 3 car lengths in and behind. It is a Bennett and Davis show early with Clay on the pursuit, trying to make his way up and into the final transfer spot to make his morning extend out a little bit more.
Clay really fighting hard for that inside spot, allowing Turner to work to his outside. I don't know which one's in the better position right now, but they need to kind of get single filed out and put a charge back here on Davis.
Yeah, you can see Turner just trying to bring that top side in right now, working that cushion, but still the bottom, the place to be right now here in D main number 5, as we're going to be halfway this time by. Yeah, he's off the pace. Joe Bennett done here in D main number 5. We'll stay green halfway. 5 laps to go. And Sawyer Davis, he's going to be the new leader. And now we have a nose-to-tail battle for that final transfer spot.
So what you didn't see is Davis came up and thunked Bennett up in the back, and that cost him. He's actually second at the moment. So that's the final transfer battle that you're watching on your screen.
Aiden Turner's in third, trying to keep pace with Sawyer Davis. We are 2 laps to go. Jaden Clay has a 1.2 second lead in this one.
Jaden Clay picked up 0.3 a lap going from third to first. You tell me Dirty Air's not real.
Dirty Air's not real? I'm kidding you, obviously.
So they'll see the checkered flag this time by. Clay will win it, and finishing second will be Sawyer Davis.
Oh, well done, Jaden Clay, part of the Velox Racing group. As he's going to pick one up, put an X in the column here in the Outlaw D main events. Joe's Racing Products Ramp Cam here on FloRacing. Up and
threw a
functioning
chain
early.
for Joe Bennett, guys.
Ugh.
That stinks when you're leading.
That stinks anytime. Not just when you're leading.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Guys, my dad is awake and watching at 6:30 in the morning out in beautiful East Wenatchee, Washington. He had something really nice to say about mother-in-laws, too.
Oh.
His is a peach.
Insert the emoji. Got it. What's his morning drink of choice?
Latte, no flavor.
I mean, what kind of latte are we talking about here? The coffee variety?
Yes.
Or a little blue yummy?
Dad's not much of a drinker.
That's all right.
Although I keep trying to convince him he needs to be a bartender. Thank you, Chris.
So here we go. Caution lights already out.
We got 5 cars in this one. That's Dustin Hamelman, your pole sitter. Brian Potter is next to him. Nolan Bartley is the 7. The 16 is Brady Amos. And our 5th amigo, can't quite see the car number yet. We'll get there.
Car number 88L.
Landon Adams.
So Brian Potter in the 10P. has set the pace early on here in D main number 6, as momentarily we were side by side for that third position as Nolan Bartley trying to find a way around Brady Amos. As Bartley's trying to bring that topside through, and now
that was Hamilton pulling off, who was running second at the time. He had a digger on opening night and had put the car back together, unfortunately.
All of a sudden, Bartley just got really hungry for this next position. Really trying the outside around the 16 of Brady Amos. Stay consistent out there. Hang tough.
You're committed now, buddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, contact.
Thump. Amos drives away. Bartley, half a race to go to figure it out.
Bartley still digging, though, trying to keep pace. Amos is going to have 3 laps to go. But Brian Potter out to a huge lead.
Amos really missed that corner and did it again. It's going to cost him the transfer spot. So Bartley picks up second. Now it's the Potter and Bartley show.
Something wrong with Amos? Yeah, he's off the pace. He's done.
So something wasn't right with his car the last couple laps there. Battle of attrition here in Winged Outlaw race 150 for us.
Brian Potter will take home the win. Guys, how about this? He had a 4.8 second lead.
Wow.
That might be the biggest margin of victory we had so far this week. As Brian Potter and Nolan Bartley are going to be moving on.
Well, Chris Wilner up top with Jaden Clay.
That's right, from Newcastle, Oklahoma, picked up that last D-feature win, courtesy of Joe Bennett, thrown in a chain. But either way, race car, Clint Boyle's notice seemed to get faster and faster as it was going on. What did you learn over the course of that run that will help you a little bit in the seat?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of opened my entry up a little bit, which helped me off the exit just because I was a little tight. But the longer the race went, the better the car get. And I just can't think, oh, my guys back at the pit that helped me in a big shootout to GPS, man. If they wouldn't have helped me get here, I probably wouldn't have been here. So big thank you to them.
Takes an army to get to the Tulsa Shootout. That's Jaden Clay, guys, and he's going to move on to the C.
All right, we have got Luke Hinckley, Carter Beatty making up the front row of this. That's Giancarlo Ramasar in the 81. A couple more cars out there. Pick them up as they come across the line. It'll be Ryan Dawson and Ty Scher, the 99 and the 03. Looks like McDougal, Garrett Howard, and Zach McNally do not make the call.
So you can see the top 3 cars in the league of their own, if you will. Luke Hinckley in that 55 end sits in that final transfer position. Keeping pace with the leader, Carter Beatty.
Guys, seeing these cars rip around here makes me daydream of a time where the Winged Outlaw class gets to single car qualify at the Expo Center. Qualifying inside this building would be incredible.
Wow.
We have a great layout for it for the micro division.
I could see it.
The times would be
crazy,
unreal close.
Oh my goodness.
And at the same time, like your effect of it is still going to be similar to a draw because that racetrack is going to change and it's going to get, like if you got a low draw, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Carter Beatty making us look relatively easy in front of the field.
So final lap, Terry Maddox waving the white flag. Carter Beatty has about a 5-car length lead over Luke Hinckley, who's still in second, and that is how they are going across the line. So that's going to wrap up D main number 7.
Beatty, a restricted heat race winner, picks up the Outlaw D feature. Chris Moore has got Brian Potter with him. Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Brian, you had a really fast race car, almost 5 seconds, your margin over second place. Now, though, you got to wait a little bit. How much are you going to be watching that video board to see how much the track changes before your seat?
Well, you know, this is my A-Class car. We got an Outlaw car. It hadn't been running right all week, so I said, let's just switch back to the A-Class car. It's running better. I really haven't got to run this on a tacky track to see how good the motor was. It was all brand new injection. That Evo injection made these things come alive. Hopefully we have a little bit slicker track so we can move around. Because if it was a track like that, there's no way I can come from the back of a C to get in the top 2 in the C. So I'm happy with it. A win's a win in this building. You know, it's hard to win here. Just dug myself a big hole first of the week.
There you go, guys. Brian Potter.
It's the 8th D main, and that's 46 Brandon Carr in the lead, and 56 Michael Hubert running in position number 2. Also joining them out there is Ethan Stevens in the L8, Chance Olstrom the 28, Kyle Sheard the 39, and Frank Stoner in the 24.
So Brandon Carr in the 46. We will set the pace early on here in race 152 of the week. This is D main number 8. Track still very, very fast early on here this morning.
Way they're spread out. This looks like a hot lap session at the moment.
Yep. Definitely taking longer to widen out, which if you follow Brad Chandler on Twitter, he said that he expected slightly different track conditions today at the Tulsa Shootout. Considerably more moisture in the racetrack due to the lesser amount of time overnight to work it in, down deep into the racetrack. Moisture still on top, so it'll take longer to widen out for a full second lane. When it does, there will be more of an actual cushion to lean on. So things to watch develop as we go through today.
And you can see that because normally we have puddles of water in front of here in the press box, right? And they got a lot of moisture down into the surface to where it's laying on top of the concrete, and obviously the water has nowhere to go. To where today we don't have any water lying on the concrete in front of us. Like you said, it's just on the top surface.
Yeah. Brad's come into the booth and he's talked about that, how the racetrack will leak depending on how much water they get into the thing. And you're right, Earl, it is dry as a bone out here in front, just around this Jersey rail that builds the track. So Brandon Carr, no fuss, no muss, takes the final D main win for the Outlaw Wing Division. But we still have Outlaw C's coming. Let's go up top to Chris Wilner with the K1 Race Gear interview.
And the latest driver to punch his ticket up another soup run into the C main is Carter Beatty. We've talked to you after you won a restricted micro race. Now you're in the D main, moving on to the C main. This is the Tulsa Shootout. Describe the highs and lows when you do well in one car and have to start digging in the other.
Yeah, the A-Class, the pan armbar bolt came out, so that sucks. I mean, I only needed 100 more feet and I would have made it. So the Outlaw, we were good. We got a good start. Got to the bottom really early. There towards the end, my suit was getting caught in the seat bolt, so I was holding on for dear life on the top of the wheel.
All right, we'll see him in a little bit. That's Carter Beatty. Nearly unbuckled his seatbelts there with his arm restraints.
This is our first C feature. Tanner Holm is out in front of this one. Cruz Dickerson in the second spot.
Some early movers and shakers mid-pack back, but nothing happening in your 2 transfer spots.
You've got Reed Whitney on the first guy outside looking into the 5. Bradley Cox in the 45. Braxton Uyghur in the 31. Currently running in your top 5 here.
These guys are absolutely leaning on each other about mid-pack, just trying to find a way get up to the front of the field as these laps start to click off rather quickly.
That's Brody Graham that we're watching in the 66. He won the D feature. He's trying to eat some soup here, but man, he's going to have to muscle up and start moving some guys if he wants to get up to that second spot. And he is running out of time quickly.
He's trying to work in a second groove down there in 1 and 2, and we're going to see this track start to widen out a lot as we double, almost triple the amount of cars we have on track each time.
So Tanner Holm and Cruz Dickerson still your top 2.
3 laps to go. Leaders in lap traffic. Tanner Holm has a straightaway lead over the field. We will see the white flag this time by Reed Whitney, however, starting to close in on Cruz Dickerson for the final transfer spot.
The hourglass is running thin.
Yeah, what does Whitney do in 3? He'll just follow Dickerson off the bottom off of 4. Cruz Dickerson and Tanner Holm, the top 2. They'll move on and stay alive here. The Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, brought to you by NOS Energy Drink.
Tanner won that race at 6:40 local time for him. Monroe, Washington driver.
I'm sure all the family up early to watch.
All the family down here with him. All right, up top we go with another K1 Race Gear interview.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Got Brandon Carr here, the final D feature winner. A little bit of work to do now. How much does the mindset have to change from starting on the pole of a D to now starting in the back of a C?
A little bit, but not much. Just the same thing. Keep consistent, keep hitting my line, and just keep picking them off. It's 10, I think, or 12 lap race, the C. So just got to keep chilled, not make any mistakes, and just pick them off.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Brandon Carr, more work to do, but morning off to a good start.
C-main number 2 is on the track. That's Jet Yantis sitting on the pole with Brecken Reese next to him. Shelby Hinton, Logan Lunsford, Jackson Porter, Todd Kirkman, and more. Early lead goes to Yantis. Reese gonna try to chase him down as Hinton settling into the 3rd and chasing position. Brecken Reese downstairs eyeballs Yantis. Yantis drives away and holds the top spot for now. Good battle for 1-2 out in front of this C feature number 2 field for the Outlaw Wing Division. WFO Winged Outlaws. As Yantis starts to stretch out and pull away from Reese. Reese has got a decent amount of distance between himself and Hinton in the 19 car. 23 of Cody Samuels sits in position number 4.
As a driver, you're in second, right? You know you're in that final transfer spot. How difficult is it just to try to contain your nerves and just settle in because you know you're in a transfer position?
Yeah, you want to stay within striking distance of Jet Yantis here, but you don't want to put yourself so close that if his mistake happens, that it's going to bottle you up, also open you up from 3rd place. You don't know what that gap is behind you. Obviously, you can try to watch the screen, all that, but I think you want to keep just a proper distance between you and know that if you're not racing, the odds of someone driving under you or around you are so slim. Doing a really good job right now pacing Jet Yantis, and see 2 to go. These laps click off very quickly. Start to see a black groove forming. The bottom side of 1 and 2. A little bit more moisture still in 3 and 4. White flag out last time around for Jet Yantis.
So Jet Yantis and Brecken Reese 1 and 2. As they will come off of corner number 4, and that's how they will cross the start-finish line. Those 2 drivers move on. Shelby Hinton 3rd, Cody Samuels 4th, and Logan Lunsford in 5th.
Brecken Reese there had a lot of car speed in the 2nd position, a 10.6 lap turned. So, wow. Still picking up speed around here.
Well, Chris Wilner, Monroe, Washington's Tanner Holm is with you. Does he look sleepy?
I think he's pretty wide awake, especially the butt whooping he put on in that C feature. I know you didn't want to be this deep and this early in the morning, but that P1 setup, is that helping you out here today?
That's a lie. The track was really good. There's actually a little bit slick in 1 and 2 on the bottom. He just moved up half a lane. It was surprisingly tacky on the on the outside of the straightaway, as long as you arc your corner, and that's what got me through it.
In a race like that, do you ever try to experiment a little bit, kind of see what works, or are you just more worried about getting through the thing?
Absolutely. I got a race in 8 races in the A class, so I'm trying to see what I can do for my setup here in the Outlaw to the A class. It's a little bit different, but it definitely helps me out what I want to insight for that car.
All right, guys, Tanner Holm.
Green flag out on C-main number 3. That is Hayden Mabe in the 52 out to the early advantage. Eli Morgan's the 15 car running in 2nd position.
Oh, trouble on the front stretch right in front of Terry Maddox. big hit to the outside catch fence.
Jared Faria's 10F. Upside down, shearing a wing panel off. And Faria will roll away and the fence repair will begin.
Blake Anderson already down on the accident scene. Blake Anderson, what do you see down there, my friend? We'll let him pick up his comms pack. As the red lights have come on, as officials are going to attend to the damaged catch fence here on the front straightaway.
Take a look, and yep, repairs will begin.
Big old hole right there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that cable behind has anything to do with the scoring loop. I mean, it's like right at.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy.
Definitely want to make sure we take care of this one.
So our first red light here of the day number 3 of the 40th annual Smileys Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Blake, what you got?
Jared Faria just wanted to get towed out of here. He was just said, "Get me out of here, guys. I'm ready to go back to the trailer." And a fence repair shouldn't be too long. Just a little repair here on the front stretch, and we'll be good to go.
All right. Well, while they get to work on the fence, up top to Chris Moore.
Yeah, got Jet Yantis here. Jet, how relieving is it now? You're out of the C main. You have a little bit of time, and you'll have a different racetrack come B main time that hopefully you can work around on.
I mean, it's a little bit relieving, but I wish I was never put this far down in the soup. I mean, there's nothing we can change now. We were struggling early on, but we're going to try to work our way back up.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Jet Yannis, like many at racing out this morning, wishes he didn't have to be, but plenty of time now and a good race car we know he's got.
And Caleb Hart, the one concern here, Jake Croxton's head scorer made his way out of the booth. The scoring loop took a hit, so we're not sure how it's going to affect the scoring loop quite yet, but we'll know on the first lap is what he said.
Well, that's reassuring.
So it kind of the scoring loop runs through a metal cable, or it's connected to a metal cable, and I don't know if Daryl can get it, but that metal cable snapped in half, and you can see the scoring loop just kind of hanging there.
We got a good look at it, Blake. You can see how that metal pole is bent over where the cables are zip tied to it, and everything is just kind of dangling.
The yellow coax is a scoring loop. Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Yeah, that's reassuring when Jake says, "Well, we'll know after one lap."
They do hand score up there, and it is challenging, but they do it. So,
Nice thing is we got Jake Croxton and Eric Grigsby up there, 2 phenomenal scores.
Oh, was that a left front over a right rear?
Yeah.
iBox Springs replay giving us a second view of exactly what happened with Jake Faria up in the fence here on the front straightaway.
You can see where that pole's separated, and luckily the pole just supports the cables so that people or vehicles can go underneath it if need be. As long as that didn't yank out of the dirt or whatever the loop is run under the racetrack, hopefully we're A-okay.
Right. Theoretically, be all right. But, again, lots of things are good in theory.
These guys just want to take the time to get that pole back together so that's not hanging down or any open edges.
So a chance for us to pause and catch our breath as we had been going turbo speed here this morning at the 40th annual Smileys Racing Products Tulsa Shootout. And with that, we're going to take a timeout. So our live coverage will continue. And again, you're watching here on FloRacing, the 40th annual Smileys Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink on Flo. as the crews clear from the front straightaway. Engines fire up, and we are ready to go back racing here at the 40th annual Smileys Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, live on FloRacing. We're powered by NOS Energy Drink. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Earl Hoon, and Clinton Boyles here in the booth with you to start the morning off. We are in the Outlaw C main events carryover from last night, and we are in Outlaw C number 3 as the engines fire back up.
Caleb Hart, he hit the pole so hard on the front stretch, it moved the K-rail off the racetrack a couple inches, so that was a little bit of the holdup. They had the fence done. They had to get the K-rail moved back closer to the racetrack before we could get back going.
It was quite the thunk. Thank you, Blake Anderson, the voice from the infield here for our first shift of the day. Chris Wilner and Chris Moore are up top for us. Well, Earl, we resume. C-Main number 3, we had a lap in before going into caution flag conditions. 9 to go. Top 2 move forward. Hayden Mabe, your early leader. Eli Morgan, Jake Andriotti, Garen Brown, Mason Beinhauer, Joey Robinson, Cameron Campbell, Jaden Wagner, Hayden Wise, and a whole host of others.
Green flag back out. 9 laps to go. Remember, the top 2 finishers in these C-Mains stay alive here in the Tulsa Shootout. Hayden Mabe already out to a 10-car length lead. Eli Morgan still in second. The battle rages on for P3 between Jake Andriotti and Darren Brown.
Kind of stacked up in behind him with a small cushion developing in and around the middle that gets moved every time the drivers get into it.
Jake Andriotti now starting to apply pressure to Eli Morgan for that transfer position. Andriotti starting to search around the Tulsa Expo Raceway to see what grip he can find to get by Eli Morgan for that second position as we have 4 laps to go here in C-Main number 3. But how about it? Hayden Mabe out to a commanding lead in this one in the 52H.
Battle for second, getting tight off of turn number 2. Laps running at a precious minimum here. Andriotti back in on Morgan. Morgan works through the low groove on the racetrack. Andriotti right on him looking for opportunity.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Hayden Mabe, he is gone. What happens for the final transfer position? Eli Morgan has it in the turns number 3 and 4. Andriotti is there, but not going to get the job done as Eli Morgan going to hang on and stay alive in the Tulsa Shootout. Hayden Mabe in the 52H. He will take home the win in C-Main number 3. Jake Andriotti in the 29A finishing 3rd. Finishing 4th will be the 11D of Darren Brown. As just like that, cars make their way off the track, and we got cars making their way on the track for C-Main number 4.
Next up, C4, Ricky Thornton Jr. supposed to start on the pole of this one. Sam Coleman, Tanner Tucker, Jasper Zagafuse, Dylan Berglund and Chase McDougal, Garrett Smith, Dylan Burks, Jordan Clary, Justin Robinson, Eric Braunmeyer, and Corbin Ruschenberg scheduled to compete.
Some late night changes going on Ricky's car last night. I know Bernie was down there, Carson Perkins was down there trying to get that thing tuned up for a late night C-Main, now an early morning C-Main. We'll see if Ricky can find a little bit more car speed here.
So we go green at the chalk line once again. Here we go. Ricky Thornton Jr. will get the whole shot there off of turn number 2. Lead lap number 1. Sam Coleman will be in the second spot, but he's going to be running the bottom side of that racetrack.
Pursued by Jasper Zagafuse as McDougal pulls off. Rest of the pack fanning out, moving to position here or there. As there goes Tucker underneath Zagafuse. Tanner Tucker now into the 3rd position, but he is the man on the outside looking in.
6 laps to go.
Ricky Thornton setting a blistering pace around the Expo Raceway. 10.5-second laps. That's as fast as we've ever even seen with the midgets around here.
We stay green for the rest of the way. He's going to get into slower traffic. So he just has to hit his marks and hang on for the next 4 laps. He's still in second, the 16C of Sam Coleman. He has about I would say that's about 10-car length lead over there, Tanner Tucker in the 32T.
Guys, crazy to think that 130 horsepower gets around here just as fast as 350.
Yeah, difference in car size and weight, right?
Yeah.
1 to go. Thornton putting a lap. As we've got one slowing, and that is our D-Main transfer car in Newland Jr. But we're going to keep the lights on green and finish this race off with Ricky Thornton Jr. and Sam Coleman moving forward. Oh, Ricky Thornton Jr., Outlaw C-Main winner, adds that to his non-wing Outlaw Heat win.
Injection for Chase McDougal, guys. Tough way to end his winged Outlaw run this year.
Let's zip things up while we have a second to Chris Wilner.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of being at the top of the ramp. You never know we're going to get a cute pup here. Hayden Mabe got the win, but I think the big winner is 2-week-old Hoosier. First of all, tell me about the racetrack, and then tell me about your pup.
The racetrack's good. Just wide open right now, all around the bottom. Yeah, this is Hoosier. We got her yesterday out here. 10-week-old bully puppy.
So if you don't grab a driller, I think this is a good consolation prize, right?
I think so. It'll last a lot longer.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Hayden May moving on after winning the C, but Hoosier's here to cheer him on. How about that?
Well, Chris got to pet a dog today, so his day will be made.
I think I'm taking a driller. That could go a lot of different ways for a lot of people.
I can see both sides.
Yep, I was about to say that. I can see both sides as well.
All right, for this one, see feature number 5, Preston Norbury, Rodney Westifer, Tobias Midkiff, Dalton Pereira, Harley Holland, Kaylee Bryson, Garth Kasner, Hayden Hansen, Mason Doherty, Nicholas Skias, Alec Frizzell, Chris Counter, Sawyer Davis, and Jaden Clay. This could be an A-main in a lot of places. There's some talent out here in this one. Winged Outlaw style talent. That second row of Pereira and Holland alone.
Yeah, we've seen Holland have a lot of Winged Outlaw success the last couple of years, been in A-mains, and it just goes to show how hard it is out here to, consistently put yourself in that position to compete for drillers.
Kaylee Bryson is a no-show here in this feature.
That's why they call it the Mecca for micros, boys. So here we go. C-main number 5 is underway.
Norbury hung up on the bottom. Everybody circles around him in 1 and 2. Going to cost him a bunch of positions. As it is going to be Westifer and Holland, 1 and 2. Pereira going to try to play the spoiler.
So they'll come around. They'll complete lap number 2. No change up front yet. As Pereira and Skia still 3rd and 4th. Preston Norbury in the 77N rounds out the top 5 early on here in C-main number 5.
Drivers settling in and making good laps, but you really don't have a lot of time to settle in here in a C feature. It's only a 10-lap race. Pereira pushing the issue on Holland as they come through the corner. Harley Holland through the middle. Pereira, car length and change behind him. Shoots it into the turn and trying to figure out how to get by as you look at your race leader once again.
We talk about how turns 1 and 2 has a slick line around the bottom, and 3 and 4 has a little bit more moisture, although 3 and 4 is wider in track space than 1 and 2 is. 1 and 2 still a car length and a half. 3 and 4, we definitely have at least 2 car lengths with the moisture, and you see it getting put to use right there. Coming to 2 to go for your final transfer.
A little bit of contact, and they are done. Caution flag waves.
Wow. Extracurriculars. That one's really gonna.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
spark
that's
some.
boys stand by at the top of the ramp.
This might be settled right down here trackside. So they'll get the 2 cars unhooked, and boy, I thought he was coming over to have a conversation there.
He got
for a
out
second.
really fast and aggressively to not at least say something.
Oh, he was probably barking. So you can see mangled nose wing on the Holland car. Ibach Springs replay is going to tell us a lot here on this one.
Again, this is a battle for a final transfer spot.
Dalton Pereira has a monster run. Like, arguably he's there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where you can necessarily lay blame on one or the other. Harley was willing to crash to try to keep that spot, and Pereira was willing to crash to take the spot. And turns out it just took them both out. The same instance, could have happened to me yesterday when I closed the door in 3. Blake Anderson's down there. Let's see if we can get.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a word with Harley. Harley, what happened there?
We just racing for the same spot, and he stuck it in there and kind of climbed over our left rear, just part of it.
Tough break for Harley Holland and Dylan Pereira. They're battling for that final transfer spot, guys.
All right, Blake, thank you. Yeah, good way to put it.
Yeah.
So now, got a new second-place car in the. Unfortunately, the scoring loop went down.
Rodney Westhafer in the 44 is still the leader. He will bring the field back to green.
As 8 down, 2 to go. We know that. So green-white checkered here on the restart. See if the loop comes back up.
Yeah, your car in 3rd place, the 77, had not a very good start off the front row. Got sideways and trying to find his way back, and he's going to lose a chain. Or right rear tire, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were going to bring it back to yellow or
into the wall.
Yeah, that's Preston Norbury is the 77 car who ended up along the wall.
Yeah, something broke on the right side, arm or something.
Let's take a second while they get this sorted out. Up top we go for the K1 Race Gear interview. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. up at the top of the ramp.
RTJs, we're having a good time here. We're watching, ready for a fight. Quote from RTJ, I felt like we were hauling ass. Clinton said it. The lap times you were putting down close to midget times, and you said the throttle was sticking.
Yeah, about 3/4 of the race, throttle was hung wide open. So we got back here, and the throttle spring is actually stuck down like inside where the throttle rod goes. So my own fault, I guess. But luckily I didn't run over those lap cars. That's what I was worried about. I couldn't slow down for them. But overall, car was really good. Joe came over, and Carson came over and worked on it a little bit, and I feel like I picked up a ton of pace. So hopefully we can come from the back of a B main and try to be somewhere close to Clint. I feel like he's been so good all week. I don't know. I'm almost worried he's going to steal my sprint car ride or something now.
Hey, I'm obligated to ask, when are you going to come run a big block with me?
Hopefully sometime here soon.
All right, there you go, guys. RTJ. Throttle was sticking. He was worried about running over lap cars.
I'm sure Ricky can fit a big block race in somewhere in his 175 race schedule.
He really let me down, Clinton. I had it all lined up. He was in, and something came up, and he can't make it. I was ready.
Rear end for Preston Norbury.
Thank you, Blake.
So we're going to come back to green once again. Side-by-side battle there for that final transfer spot. Contact there off of corner number 2.
And to the white flag, so we'll go to a lap of overtime here. One more to go. Westhafer is going to take this one with ease. The battle is for the final transfer.
Off of 4, checkered is out. Westhafer will win C main number 5. 99X machine. That driver will finish in that final transfer spot.
Earl,
Go ahead, Blake.
One of the best nicknames in all of racing we were talking about the other day.
Crossbones. Ronnie Westhafer. So he's going to keep his Tulsa Shootout alive.
Next race is on the track. Rod and Supply Speed Shot amongst your competitors. Nathan Mendering, Cameron Key, Deegan Lells, Cullen Hutchinson, Jacob Johnston, Sheldon Creed, Mac Leopard, Alec Quiggle, BJ Fernandez III, Keaton Martella, Case Piper, and Trey Erdman. Cousin Cameron is out on the red. You know the rules.
Oh, yep, my bad. I do apologize.
Thank you.
Yeah, what the heck?
I know.
Come on, man. Get with the program.
Come on, Earl.
So here we go. Green is out.
Watch Cameron rip.
Bye-bye.
Trying to bring Quiggle with him.
Hydro coming in finally. Quiggle trying to make his way around Mendering. Mendering battling down low, trying to hold the spot.
Things got close there in 3.
Yeah,
Shot City.
Denied Quiggle a chance to get underneath him. Now Lells powers his way down low on Quiggle. Quiggle coming back, retakes 3rd in turn number 3.
So the track is definitely starting to widen out here, where you can start to move around. As Cameron Key in the 21J, your leader right now, running in 2nd. Nathan Mendering in the 5N.
A battle on the track we were watching is for 3rd and 4th, and unfortunately it's a race to who gets back to the trailer faster.
They got to figure it out, settle in, and try to close in on Mendering, who sits in that transfer position. Those laps are starting to click off. 3 to go. Cameron Key starting to really stretch it out here. Last time by, he had a 2.3-second lead. We look at the interval this time by, he's increased it to 2.6 seconds. Check up for a lap car there on the final lap. Still maintain a comfortable lead in this one as he will win C-Main number 6. Give it to Cameron Key. And finishing in that final transfer spot, the 5N of Nathan Mendering. So Clinton, you could see there during that C-Main track starting to widen out to where really you can make some moves on some people.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it probably doesn't show quite as the outlaw cars don't show how racy it is, as we will see when the non-wing cars get out here.
Well, K1 Race Gear interview coming up. Chris Wilner has Crossbones.
I do. Ronnie Westhafer did a nice job leading that last C feature, but I tell you what, thank goodness you weren't behind you, because it was absolutely a dogfight. When it's start and stop like that and kind of hard to get a rhythm, how difficult is it to make sure you keep consistent behind the wheel?
Yeah, I got in a rhythm there pretty early. Got a good start, and I had some people give me some signals under yellow, just let me know I was good, just keep doing my thing. So the yellows don't really break it up too bad for me if you're out front and know where you need to be. So just made sure I hit my marks, and we move on here. So I just got to thank my mom and dad on my way back home, my little girl, 600 Performance, Mechanicsburg Beverage, Falker Dodge Ram. There's a lot of people back home that helped get this out here. And we're having a pretty good week so far. We're struggling in one class, but see if we can dig ourselves out of that one too.
All right, the shootout continues. Crossbones, Ronnie Westhaver moving on to a beat.
C7 on the track. Colton Robinson, Briley Kilmer, Braden Jones, Brody Wake, Brody McLaughlin, Austin Wood, Cooper Miller, Jason Tessier, Caden Mitchell, Evie Dean, Brody Snyder, Zach Gorski, Luke Hinkley, and Carter Beatty.
C-Main number 7 underway.
Colton Robinson and Austin Wood, your top two at the moment. Wood, big pressure from Jones. Brayton Jones in the 5J. Looking down low, shows him a wheel, driving around his Wood and holding the position, at least for the time being.
Colton Robinson Already out to a 1 second lead. Made a little mistake there in turns 1 and 2. Austin Wood's going to close in on your leader. Just has to remember that he sits in that final transfer position. Don't want to make any mistakes here as we're halfway. 5 laps in and 5 to go. The top 2 cars break away from the rest of the field, Caleb.
Yeah, Wood pursuing Robinson. Both the two of them having an easy go, but long ways to Braden Jones. Visually on the track, not quite a half straightaway, but almost. Time running out, 7 down, 3 to go.
I don't think Austin Wood is happy to be in second. He's trying to really track down Robinson and take that lead away as Robinson missed his mark there in turn 1. We're going to see the white flag this time by. The battle is on for the C-Main win. Now, Braden Jones, he's starting to close in on Robinson and Wood. Lap traffic in front of him. What happens here in turns 3 and 4? And Colton Robinson will win C-Main number 7. And Austin Wood will finish second and move on. The rest of the top 5 looks like this. Third, the 5J of Braden Jones. Briley Kilmer in car number 6, finishing 4th, and finishing 5th, the 59 of Brody McLaughlin.
One more C feature. Chris Moore up top with Cousin Cameron.
Yeah, I got Cameron here. Cameron, guys were standing in the booth rooting for you. Tell me, seemed like things were real easy. All of a sudden, you caught that lap car and he slowed up. You had to make that quick reaction there. How much of a scare was that for you?
Yeah, I knew I had a big lead, so I was actually slowing down to, be really careful, and then he just dives to the infield. So you just never know what they're going to do. But, run 4 classes, usually you have one that doesn't quite go your way, and so far that's been this one. So hopefully, if this is our worst one, that'll be all right. So we'll just try to keep building and doing better.
There you go, Clinton. He's trying to catch you.
I don't know about that. He's got a lot more laps and good runs around here than I do, that's for sure.
All right, Earl, final C feature. Here's your competitors.
So starting on the pole will be the 14J of Jet Nunley. Alongside him, Tyler Walton in the 14H. Second row to the inside will be the 12X's Jeffrey Newell. Then you have the 12K of Dylan Cadis. Brandon Lewis in the 97 out there. Ronnie Dawson in the 64R, also outside row number 3. Then you have Noah Gass, Rowan Edgar, Brody Bridgman, Keegan Ostentowski, Reese Shelton, Ashley Efdahl, Kyle Halter, Brandon Carr, and Michael Hubert will make up the field for C-Main number 8 as we are green.
Battle of the 14s in the front row and the 12s on row number 2. Into the corner, big move through, clearing it and leading. Lap number 1 was Tyler Walton. Jet Nunley in second. Pursuit from Jeffrey Newell and Dylan Cadis behind him. There's Newell moving into the final transfer.
Newell working the bottom side to perfection to take that second spot away.
Newell now getting away from Nunley down the back straightaway. Everybody you pass now is a guy you don't have to pass later. As the top 4 really distancing themselves from everybody else. Brody Bridgman to the 114, trying to move up and on this pack as you take a look at the former shootout champion Jeffrey Newell trying to close on Tyler Walton. A couple of guys with drillers running C-Mains.
Right. It shows you how tough the competition is here. As Newell starting to close in slowly but surely on the leader, Tyler Walton. This time by, we're going to have just 4 laps to go.
Both of them relatively secure. Nunley a long ways back now from your top 2. See if Jeffrey Newell can continue to improve his Winged Outlaw program. There's Nunley and Cadis, your 3rd and 4th place cars.
Twin sticks are in the air just 2 more times around. Couple of veterans at the front of C-Main number 8. Still Jet Nunley runs 3rd, Dylan Cadis 4th. Brody Bridgman rounds out the top 5 with 1 lap to go.
Back straightaway for the final time. Final set of corners. And Tyler Walton moves on and he brings Jeffrey Newell with him.
So that will conclude race number 160 of the weekend. These cars will make their way up to the ramp. And as those cars do make their way up, let's go talk to Chris Wilner. Who you got up there, buddy?
Yeah, I've got Colton Robinson out of the Sunshine State, one of the many Florida contingent drivers down here. All right, you won that C feature. Your shootout's still alive. We talk about the race car, what you can learn. What are you learning about this racetrack? Is it finally starting to widen out a little bit?
Yeah, the track's starting to widen out. It's a little rough right now. There's still moisture around the bottom, but it's getting a little tricky. Car wasn't where we needed to be early in the week, so we got it better, and we're back on track now. So hopefully our shootout, we can make it through the B main and keep on going.
All right, making gains at it. That's Colton Robinson. Guys moving on to a B.
So this is going to be race number 150. Nope. Stock non-wing cars out now. Because that's going to be a no-go. Caution lights come back on.
And that was a quick no-go. They haven't thrown the yellow lights
Terry
down
Maddox,
early on
he
those.
took a couple steps out, then said
in
nope.
a hot minute.
Yeah.
All right, got the lineups back up and working once again. Technology just took a little while to wake up. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like it. We're up and going. Stock non-wings. These are A-class cars. No in-cockpit adjustments. Stock motors. Obviously, no wings to them. This is the basic of the adult divisions here. And it is the largest division, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products here on the weekend. Coming off the corner. Green flag out.
Oh, contact.
And it tends to be a little physical.
Yeah.
It's Tanner Holm working his way into position number 2 and maybe off the corner into position number 1, lap number 1 in the books. And coming right back after him on the bottom of the speedway. Holy cow. So Holm, your early leader here. Gonna take a second for timing and scoring to get all caught up. Believe you've got the 3 of Boone sitting in the second position, or the 33. Look out, Squirrely further back in the field. So 4 laps to go. Back to 8-lap heat races once again.
Should be Price in second, guys. The 8G, Aiden Price. Just rolling around in second.
Okay, there you go.
He's behind Holm, obviously.
Yep, Holm and
they
Price.
Are absolutely checked out on the field.
1 to go. It's the car that Tanner pulled out of the weeds a couple of months ago and got all fresh back up, and he will drive that Farrell Frameworks 11T into victory here in the heat race.
You can see how thick the cushion is. If you get over it, just absolutely sucks your car down. We're going to have a monster curb later today.
Exactly, that's what I was looking at, Clinton. Going into turn 3 in front of us, you can start to see a monster curve develop in the middle of that racetrack, and that's going to make these heat races really interesting.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to head back up. I got like 15 races, so
it's go time.
We'll catch you in a little while.
Let's go.
4 for 4. Up top, Chris Moore's got Tyler Walton.
Yeah, I got Tyler Walton here. Tyler, go out there, final C feature, and still seemed like it was pretty locked down over on the bottom. But I'm just curious, how many heaters with Hoon do you get for a C feature win?
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm going to be going to him for a cigarette here, I think. But no, the car was good. The track's really locked down really fast. But, and go figure, Jim and Hyper there, he didn't give me power steering this year, so we were just fighting that old girl. But, winning a C main ain't what you want to do, but we'll just move on and see what happens.
It's a flow interview. Good job.
Thank you.
There you go, guys.
Thank you, Chris Moore. As the second heat race for the stock non-wing car is underway. Philip Cordova in the 7C will be your early leader in this one. Remember, these are heat races. Passing points is the name of the game.
Jimmy Leal, non-wing specialist in Lena, running in position number 2 and trying to dial in. Catch on up. Whoa, look out. Almost 3 wide in the corner for a second.
Yeah, Chris Carroll now in the 0-5 starting to make some noise. Great 4-car battle for positions 1 and 3. We're not done yet. 4 laps to go. The battle is on for the top spot. Chris Carroll down low. Cordova trying to hold him off. Can't do it. Carroll will have it at the line.
Chris Carroll so good here at the Expo. Smooth, driving his way up to the front of the field now for second. And shuffle Cordova back another spot as Bunton. That is Blaine Bunton has moved his way up into the 2 spot. Well done by him.
Bunton starting to track down the leader, Chris Carroll, here on the final lap. See what happens here in turns number 3 and 4. Carroll down low, Bunton up high. And Chris Carroll gonna hang on for the heat race win.
Hard to believe that's the first time we've seen Chris Carroll take a victory over the course of the Tulsa Shootout 2025 version, but it is. So stock non-wing heat race is where he makes his first X mark in the column.
So you'll see the unofficial results pop up on your screen.
Let's jump up top. We've got a K1 Race Gear interview with Chris Wilner. Chris.
Yeah, second time I get to talk to your buddy Tanner Holm here in about 30 minutes. This one looking really good in the stock non-wing, but again, as Caleb mentioned, this is a car that was pretty much stripped down to nothing about a month ago. What was the process like trying to get this car ready to go?
Well, you know when you come from Washington all the way to Tulsa, you don't want to just run one class. So I searched around, and Buddy Touche that I raced at Deming with offered to let me use his A-class car. And, you know, I want to be top level when I come here. This class has over 450 entries. Yeah, me going 4-1 was really great, but, you know, that could still put me in like 7th or 8th in a qualifier. So.
Well, you did a nice job. You did what you need to do, guys. That's Tanner Holm looking really good in that Farrell Frameworks car.
All right, Chris, thank you. False start on this one. Yellow lights blink once again. As here is our lineup for race number 163. Ryan France, Noah Carpenter, Dakota Wolliver, Brandon Anderson, John Antonino, Dalton Moss, Frank Flood, Kyle Chatty, J.W. Henderson, and Jim Van Zant. Your competitors for this one.
Keep my eye on Frank Flood here in this one.
I think everybody keeping their eye on Frank Flood on this one.
Inside row 3, he will start. So see what points he can get.
It's your defending division champion
in this seat race. As we were going 3 wide already when they were getting the green flag at the start-finish line.
Squeeze job coming through the corner.
Look at Frank Flood in the 81, already making up spots. He's going to be in 4th.
So Flood already picking up positions. Now you see he's in the black-red with white number 81 out there.
So J.W. Henderson, your leader over Noah Carpenter, Brandon Anderson, and John Antonino.
Battle further up in the field. Carpenter, Anderson, and Moore all duking it out. Flood just kind of knocking on the door in the picture, but unable to really make progress yet. Collision, Flood, trouble.
Ooh.
Gets up and over the cushion, loses even more spots. So Frank Flood, his shootout has not been the funnest so far.
Yeah, Frank Flood fell all the way back to 6th. Now he's back up 5th at the line. As we got a car off the pace there in turn 4. That's going to be Brandon Anderson off the pace. He was running 2nd.
So Anderson stopped. Sounds like the chain may have fell off the Anderson car. Meanwhile, Chris Moore's got Chris Carroll up top.
Yeah, Caleb, you mentioned this is the first time we're going to talk to him, but Chris made a good point. You went 10-2 in your outlaw winged heat, so it's not like it's been too bad thus far, but first win in the wing column.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled a little bit in the outlaw non-wing. We were the first race up. The wing day class, we passed a couple cars, but this deal's so tough with over 400 entries in most of these classes. I mean, everybody's fast, so glad we were able to pick up a win there in the Sawyer chassis 05. Chad Lair had that car on point. That Metric Cycles motor and those Speed 6 shocks had us set up out there. We were doing pretty good.
All right, keep it rolling.
Thank you.
There you go, Chris Carroll, for his first heat race win here in stock non-wing.
It was the chain for Brandon Anderson.
I don't know what these are, but they smell delicious.
They appear to be frosted waffles that have been delivered to the booth. We'll give them their due credit here in just a minute.
We thought they were heaters up here.
Thank you, Chris. Back to action we go, and out and in the front, we have got some swapping around the positions. It is J.W. Henderson who's worked his way to second. It's given a chance for a couple of drivers to work their way back. Now Henderson has fallen back a couple of spots, so Noah Carpenter continues to lead.
Final lap around. As Carpenter, he will cruise to a heat race victory.
So Noah Carpenter gets the W, and Carpenter has made his mark here on the shootout as he took an A-class heat race win and now has a stock non-wing win. All right, so we have got some wonderful frosted waffles down in here, and a big shout out to the Olstroms for helping us out. Austin and Abby, Tristan and Sammy. Big thank you to them as they have treated us here in the booth. As you look at race number 164, Adam Miller, Earl McDoulet, Carter Jensrud, Aiden Parrish, Grayson Henry, Cody Coffrin, Ronnie Dawson, Blake Battles, Cameron Campbell, and Russ Deisinger. Giving your 10 cars going for 8 laps here in this one. Yes, it is JRB Enterprises and Topside Roofing, the Olstrom boys. Austin not here because expecting a baby any day now.
Oh, well, congratulations
to them.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the treats. We very much appreciate it.
Smells delicious in here, let me tell you.
Snack time is coming.
Coming.
Ride and Supply speed shot from corner number 4.
As the caution lights go out, Blake Anderson, we will send it down to you real quickly since you are trackside. This surface is really starting to come in now.
It absolutely is, and as you guys mentioned, that curb in turn 3, it's only about 3 lines off the bottom of the racetrack, so I'm sure they're going to try to work to push that up higher, but it's already about a foot high in the middle of turn 3.
They roll to the velocity green flag, and we are up and rolling.
3 wide already at the start of that one. 3 wide mid-pack. We were looking to almost go 4 wide. Yesterday we even saw 5 wide.
That's
racing action.
It's happening. Like you said, track's starting to expand and put itself into position as, all over the place, side by side in the back of the field. Race leader is Earl McDoulet Jr. Second is Jensrud at the moment as you got a couple of drivers bouncing off each other in and through. Beep, beep, out of the way. As Blake Battles in the 14 car just kind of carving his own path and then spins it out in the bottom of turn number 2. Takes a couple in there with him. So Battles in the 14. It's that 21 of Grayson Henry. And I'll say Cameron Campbell's 241. Here's a second look. One more time. Interestingly enough, and just so you guys know, the ticker is still working on it.
Yes.
Like, there is definitely some guys not in the spots that they appear to be in. So we're doing our best, but right now still working with some technological fun as far as that goes. Let's check in up top. Chris Wilner's got Noah Carpenter.
Now up to 2 heat race wins for Noah Carpenter and his 10J chassis. All right, the benefits of going early in stock non-wing. This is the largest class at the Tulsa Shootout, so were you relieved to see you start on the front row there of that one?
Yeah, you know, it's really hard to pass here in the morning, but luckily we had the winged outlaw classes to blow it off in the morning, so middle was able to come in, and then I could get a good start and just rip around the outside and then drive off from there.
You feel like you could experiment a little bit in that one, especially with the track starting to move up a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I got it tied a couple times in 3 and 4, just, you know, running too hard on the cushion, but luckily we got it dialed in there pretty good. This 10J chassis is on kill right now. That's 2 heat race wins this year. I can't thank all my sponsors enough. First off, Jared and Shaggy. Again, this thing was ripping around that top like that. And all my sponsors, Hydro Clear Services, HJ Constructs, Loman Law Firm, Lyella Construction, Coming Chiropractic, anybody I'm forgetting, I can't thank them all enough.
Nice job. Noah Carpenter, 2 heat race wins. And guys, speaking of the track surface, we checked in with Steve Hahn this morning. He said Brad Chandler didn't leave the building all night working on this thing, make sure it's good to go.
Back to action. We know McDoulett's your leader as he is jumping up and away from this field. 64 car working its way through. That is Ronnie Dawson. And Dawson sitting about position 4 at the moment, as we've got one stuffed into the infield. And once again, Cameron Campbell not having the happiest heat race. Campbell's transponder hasn't worked the whole time, so he's been showing in last place, and now with his second spin out, he will definitively be last place. Oops.
So we'll have a restart coming here with 4 laps to go.
McDoulett continuing his run out front. 1 to go back to green as we're halfway home here in this stock non-wing heat race. Sit in a while, like we said, 450-ish entries in the stock non-wing division, so 10 cars a heat race, that's 45 heat races for the easy math.
Plenty of micros and muffins to kick off your morning. Here on the second day of the new year, so green is out, we're back underway.
Russ Dysinger has moved his way into position number 2. Dysinger trying to close on McDoulett coming off the corner.
Dysinger is there for the lead. No, big trouble at turn 1.
Over on its top and hard, Aiden Parrish is 88. And safety crews make their way over into the corner from our turn 1 cam. I believe Mr. Shields shooting down as they will take a look at the driver and go to work. Rod and Supply speed shot from the corner. So 5 laps in, 3 to go, and currently under caution flag conditions. As Aiden Parrish, the big wreck in turn number 1, saw the velocity on that barrel roll, Earl. It was a big one.
Yeah, I didn't exactly see how he got upside down, but yeah, that was a big tumble there in turn 1. So officials are going to do what they need to do in turn 1. We still got cars rolling around on the speedway. If you're new here tuning in for the Smiley Racing Products Tulsa Shootout powered by NOS energy drink, if you go to your racetrack, regardless of what it is, asphalt or dirt, normally if a car gets upside down or if they have a pretty bad wreck, a red flag comes out. Here, to keep the show moving and the process going, they just split the track in half and have the cars duck into the infield and pop back out on whatever end they need to. Now, we will say this. If any driver or if there's any medical emergency to where they need to throw the red flag here at the Tulsa Expo Raceway, they will indeed do that. No doubt about that. But to keep the show moving, they just keep the cars idling at a very slow pace.
It helps we've got an entire, every division here is a self-starting car.
Right.
And they're
helps.
relatively
Yes.
small.
Right.
So you've got a safe path to wiggle them in and through the infield as they're doing right now. As turn one, all nearly completely blocked. You now have safety workers moving their way in, out, and around. And you never like to see the car go off on the bucket, but there's our first bucket job.
Right. And we got to say this, tip of the cap to all the officials and safety crew members here at the Tulsa Expo Raceway, because they are Johnny on the spot, right? Depending, that car may not be done rolling over, and the officials, the safety crew members, are already at the scene, right? So tip of the cap to all the safety personnel here at the Tulsa Expo Raceway. They do fine job. When I go in the infield for my shifts, I normally catch up with all of them and strike up great conversations. And hey, a lot of that, it's a volunteer job too.
Yep.
Right? And that's any racetrack
Yes.
in the world, right?
Yes.
A lot of guys, we do it for the love of the sport. We just do it, right? We don't get paid for it. And hey, when you're in tough times, you got to depend on those guys.
Those guys are some of the unsung heroes of every track across the country, no matter where you are, and they all care.
Yeah, they do.
Quite a bit. Yep. So tip of the cap to all of our first responders, EMTs, our safety workers, and those who volunteer their time to make our local racetracks a little bit safer. As we've got 3 laps to go, Earl McDoulet and Russ Dysinger will resume their battle out front. Here in this stock non-wing heat race, it is race number 164. Green flag out.
So here we go. McDoulet will roll the top side there in turns number 1 and 2. Dysinger will follow him through.
Got hard under that right rear end corner exit, rotated that car super early. Dysinger trying to build some speed, and he's pacing him through turn number 2. You can see he's got just a hair more speed down the back straightaway. But benefit of track position belongs to Earl as they work out of the second corner this time with 1 to go down the back straightaway.
See what happens here in turn 3 and 4. Dysinger down low. The car sticks. They'll drag race back to the line and give the win to the 39 of Russ Dysinger.
Timed that perfect.
Yes, sir.
Nice move by Russ, as he'll pick up the win in stock non-wing. He was an outlaw wing heat race winner as well. Good shootout for Dysinger here, as it will continue to build momentum into day 3. Race 165 on Raceway. Joshua Lewis and Chuck Dunlap. Garrett Smith, Eric Braunmeyer, Casey Bauman, Eddie Hamlin, TJ Stark and Aiden Schmidt, Chase Porter and Case Piper, your 10 cars, who will go for the win in this one.
So the stock non-wing heat race is definitely exciting here. Early on Thursday morning.
As they usually are.
Yes. More ways than run.
Sometimes they're fast. Sometimes they're spectacular. Got a little bit of everything here in that last one.
But they definitely have great service to race on. Track very wide and handsome. And got a nice curb to bang off of.
And getting better, too.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see how long the moisture lasts in this one. Again, they had... we stopped racing at just a hair before 11:30 last night, and we're on the track again at 8. So 8.5 hours to get moisture into it, as opposed to the earlier night they had before and the later morning that we had yesterday. So would imagine we see slick coming earlier in the program. More of the moisture is up top, but when we get there, it is going to get very hard and very black in through the middle of this racetrack.
So car is going to get into starting order here. Terry Maddox, head starter here at the Tulsa Expo Raceway. Going to let the field know we're going to go green next time by.
9 of the 10 make the call for this. We do have a scratch. See TJ Stark out there in the 00. So Chuck Dunlap in the 41, outside row number 1. That's the black and light green car. Eric Braunmeyer is the 16. Green flag is out.
Great side-by-side start when they came to the chalk line.
Dunlap working back to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to retake second right across the nose and up to the cushion. Lap number 1, Joshua Lewis, your leader. Garrett Smith has got the second position. Smith after him down the back straightaway.
3 wide for P2 off of 4 momentarily.
Here comes Stark working up the bottom. Patient works into 1. Slides his way into 3rd. Now after Smith for 2nd. As Braunmeyer back to the bottom trying to retake the spot. Stark 3rd, Braunmeyer 4th. Now Braunmeyer retakes 3rd. Stark slips back to the bottom. Powers up and around the top. Really wants to start contesting with Smith, but still having to turn off Braunmeyer as we got one smoking up a storm big time and one around at the same time. So fogging for Skeeters in corners 1 and 2.
And we can see the line of fluid here down the front straightaway in front of us.
Aiden Schmidt, the driver that expired. And I think it was Hamblin in the 2 that was turned around. So a couple of drivers who were a little bit deeper in the field put down a healthy patch of liquid down on the front straightaway, did Schmidt.
So I got a feeling that the old John Deere is going to come out and they're going to scratch that surface up so they can get rid of that line of fluid down the front straightaway that goes all the way in the middle of turns number 1 and 2.
All right, up top we go. K1 Race Gear interview with Chris Moore.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Russ Dysinger, best point run we've seen so far, 10-1. The last lap pass, the long red, none of it affected you, and you got a happy crew around you. You don't seem to be that excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heat race, so, you know, we got a lot of work to do. We still got to do good in the qualifier, which should set us up good in points, you know. Just got to have a good qualifier finish, and then we should be in the show. You know, it's hard to come up through. I've started in the back a few other ones, and you know, you get to like 4th and then everybody's really fast, and I just felt like I had a really good line, and Adams had the car really good, and the A-Class Engler mechanical was on point, so it's good day.
Yeah, it looked like it. Keep it rolling.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Russ Dysinger, the first driver we've seen go 10-1. He told me, he said, I couldn't believe the car stuck on the bottom there in 3 and 4.
Guarantees him high point in the division as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So right on cue, John Deere makes its way out onto the front straightaway.
That is the Lele Rotera. And it just gets in, and you can see the little blades on it. It just kind of tickles the top, right?
Yep.
Just musses it up enough. Doesn't really dig deep, as opposed to your traditional big diskers and such like that. And the idea is to, well, just get it, I'm going to say messed up enough so that you can work the fluid that's going to be down on the racetrack in and spread out within that layer, and then a couple of passes with the cars over it, we'll have it all worked into the surface and be just.
Think about this too. When you do that, how much grip now that's going to add going into turn 1 to the top side, because you're somewhat, like you said, turning it over to a point, scratching the surface, right? And with it still being as early as it is, the track still has a lot of moisture to it. So it's starting to get slick through the middle, right? Starting to slow down, but now you just turned it over to a point, as we say. And I think that you're going to see a lot of guys really start to hammer the top when they go into turn 1.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. For a few laps, I'll bet you it's a little better than what you would have expected it to be. Is Blake?
Yeah.
What you got, buddy?
Walking around that high side, there is a lot of grip up on the high side of the racetrack right now. And as Earl said, you know, that's just going to make guys go to the high side even more, I think. But spent a lot of time the last couple of heat races up there on the high side with Matt Ward, the director here at the Tulsa Shootout.
All right, so we'll see what happens. They're going to, and you saw where they started it. This really started at mid straightaway into corner entrance. So they're going to let the fluid that came off the corner and into the middle of the straight just kind of work into the track naturally. The tires run it over, they work it in, it rubs off on the tire just a bit.
You know, you're going to have your race fans say, oh, why didn't they go out there and put Speedy dry and throw some loose dirt on it, this and that? Well, folks,
Kitty litters
inside
for
of the
asphalt.
building.
Yeah.
Right?
Kitty litters for asphalt.
Yeah, right. And when you got these cars going through that, it creates a lot more dust than what we need under a roof, right?
Point.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's just quicker. You get the lay out there, turn over, have the guys run in, bing, bang, boom, we're done.
Mm-hmm. Just like that. About a 3-minute cleanup, and we are finished.
Right? Normally you go out, you get 5 guys out there all with buckets, and you're taking an extra 3 to 4 laps to have the guys run that loose dirt or speedy dry kitty litter, whatever you use, or have their tires spin, burp the throttles, all that good stuff. So this is just a little bit of a quicker process here at the Tulsa Shootout.
You said 5 guys, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, oh, man. You like spicy food? You like spicy food.
I'll eat anything.
Right, okay. So I kind of had a laugh because when Blake Anderson was here and you guys were talking about food, I'm a foodie too.
Yes.
Right? No
good.
doubt about it,
Good
right?
man. Good
and
man.
it's kind of funny because I had to chuckle that Blake has yet to have a poke bowl.
Yeah, that's kind of a strange thing that he has not had yet.
Do you call it pho or pho?
For interests of the broadcast and my sleepiness level, I'm not calling it either at the moment. The former, not the latter.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is also delicious, and we have lots of those restaurants out in our area.
Yes. I got to get out there someday.
You do. We'll bring it. We'll make it happen. We're back to racing. Joshua Lewis has got the lead, and it's about to be taken away from Garrett Smith. Big bid down to the bottom. TJ Stark sneaking a nose in, trying to find his way around as well. 3 cars, 1 spot. And Joshua Lewis got the bad end of that. Up and into the wall, right off of corner number 4. Yellow lights blink on once again.
Yeah, I did pull to Blake Anderson there and just saw it at the corner of my eye. Heard the thud as the right rear met the concrete there off of corner number 4.
Earl, do you want me to let you down?
Why not?
I haven't had whatever, pho, whatever you call it. Fee-fi pho. Haven't had that either.
Shocker, I know.
The seafood out there is phenomenal, though.
Yo, I'm kind of jealous that you guys have some yeah, I can't even say it. Sushi out at your racetrack. Man, only if I could get some seafood at Port Royal Speedway.
Oh. Let's take a look at the Ibach Springs replay of the Joshua Lewis wreck into the corner. And just ran out of real estate.
Bop.
Right rear to left front. The right rear always wins. Lewis once again, here's from turn 1. And into the wall and tips over after the fact. One more try. For the inside cam and plunk.
So the accident scene already cleaned up. We're looking to go green next time by.
And given the old why, buddy, why you do this?
Why me?
It's a racing deal. Yeah, the bottom can be hard to carry the entire way around. And again, it was the right rear to left front. It wasn't like the right rear came right into the middle of the cockpit. So.
Right. Yep.
Racing deal, those will happen.
So we're down to 6 cars, 4 laps to go. And race number 165. Here we go.
Garrett Smith and TJ Stark for the race win. And Stark going to come right across, take that lead out of turn number 2. Smith back to it, slides all the way across the groove. But Stark, Johnny on the spot to the bottom of the racetrack and holds the lead for now. Off the second corner, you can see Smith. Looks like he's lining up another one. But Stark gets up to the top, doesn't let it happen, and TJ Stark secures the lead in front of this field.
Don't sleep on the 41 of Chuck Dunlap as he sees a great battle in front of him as he runs 3rd. This time by. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Dunlap jumps to cushion. He'll fall back into 4th.
Move Piper a spot forward, but Piper a little ways back from Smith. As this one belongs to the Colorado kid, TJ Stark, taking the checkered flag and winning this stock non-wing heat race.
So you have Stark, Smith, Piper, Dunlap, and Bauman, top 5.
TJ Stark, a restricted heat race winner earlier on in the event, so 2 heat W's for him. Well done. So we get a look at the lineup for race number 166. Parker Perry's had a really good shootout so far. Jace Randolph, Cameron Key, Braxton Weeger, Jordan Clary, Ryder Wells, Jacob Lauder, Chase Turine. That is Turine is how you say that. Making up row number 4. Chris Cochran and Blake Parmley in the final row. Cousin Cameron, quick little turnaround from the Outlaw C-Main. Inside row number 2, and it's an excellent start outside row number 1 for Jace Randolph. Green is out, green lights stay on, and Randolph checking to the early advantage. Coming through, look out. On the bottom, a couple of cars bouncing off each other. That's Braxton Weegar. Weegar using a lot of racetrack through the corners. That car taking up a lot of real estate, but he's in 3rd right now. As Key has made his way to 2nd, they're all trying to hunt down Jace Randolph. As Randolph, full half straightaway advantage on a very fast racer in his own right, Cameron Key.
Yeah, Randolph has worked to a 1.1 second lead. Has a great battle for 3rd right now. Off of corner number 4. Braxton Weegar has it, but Jordan Clary and Parker Perry won it.
Parker Perry just slides underneath Clary. He'll take position number 4. Perry and Clary for the 4 spot. As they're trying to hunt down Weegar in 3rd. There's a look at your race leader, Jace Randolph. This looking awfully simple for him.
Oh, contact here, Parker Perry.
Well, you saw earlier when Weegar was using a lot of racetrack up, one of the victims of that ended up being Perry as he slid back from his outside row 1, about to 5th, made the comeback, and that might be one of those race you the way you raced me kind of deals. Here it comes, Kamikaze through the corner.
He was not lifting at all.
If words are exchanged, you'll understand why.
Yes.
Thank you for the iBox Springs replay as the yellow lights blink on in the building at the moment.
So Braxton Weegar, he was in 3rd.
It's the Honest Aid Roofing caution flag, by the way.
So he will go to the tail end of the field. Perry now is in 3rd.
Clary's 94 cars, who we just saw on the push bumper there.
So there might be some fireworks at the top of the ramp at the end of this one. Boys, stand by as caution lights are out once again. Cameron Key, we're starting to close in on the leader of Jace Randolph. Puts him to the back bumper now. See what happens here on this restart. 2 laps to go. Pace quickens. Here we go. Cameron Key right through the middle. Nothing there. Randolph holds on to the lead down the back straightaway. Here comes Perry. However, the caution lights come on.
72L of Lauder is the one facing the wrong direction. So another try at the green-white checkered restart. Jace Randolph, Cameron Key, Parker Perry. Parker's got a fast race car, we were saying. He's had a very good shootout so far. Up until his final heat race last night, he had finished 1st, 3rd, and 2nd. I think he put another 3rd together at the end of last night. So the guy hasn't been outside the top 3 in any race he's been in.
So he knows, like we said, passing points is the name of the game here in these heat races. As there goes Cameron Key, looking to take the lead on the top side in turns number 3 and 4. He'll drag race with Randolph. Randolph right there. He'll take the lead at the stripe. White flag is out. 1 lap to go.
Action in and behind as Parmley is coming from the back row. Him and Cochran trying to catch up to Perry in the final lap. It is going to be Jace Randolph hanging on for the win. Cameron Key, Parker Perry, 1, 2, and 3. And an entertaining stock non-wing heat race number 166. Randolph has been to victory lane already, has been to the top of the ramp, as Jace earlier on in the show was a non-wing outlaw heat race winner. Chris Wilner has got TJ Stark for the K1 Race Gear interview.
I do. Everything calm at the top of the ramp at this point. We'll keep an eye on it. But this guy, 7-1, TJ Stark from Denver, Colorado. I know you said once you got to 3rd, you kind of figured things out, but the fact that we could finally get some sliders in there and battle for the lead, how much fun did you have in that heat race?
Oh man, throwing sliders, running the top is what I just love. That's why I run Port City weekly nights, and it's always a blast running on the top in an A-class non-wing car, and yeah, like you said, once I got to third, I kind of figured things out, noticed I was catching the guys. And once that guy kind of wheel hopped that was in first, I kind of realized that, like, okay, I have a chance at winning this thing now. And once I was in pole, I knew I was going to run away and hide. But, yeah.
Nice job. TJ Stark, heat race winner.
Next heat race fires off and is underway. Carter Batterby and Zach Havens from the front row of this one. This field fanning out, spreading out. Nice 2x2 action coming through early on. Brady Amos in the 16 has got the early advantage. No, sorry, he is in second. Batterby, your leader. Amos second.
Side-by-side battle, 3 wide there.